Today's episode is presented by LodeStar, the fee experts.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Lending Leaders. My name is Alayna Gardner, AMP, and this week I'm joined by our CEO and co-founder, Jim Paolino. And we're here to talk about some changes that we're making to our, company vision and long-term goals for LodeStar. So yeah, I think my first question is, why now and what was it before?
Yep. Great place to start. So our vision as of March 2022 was to be the leading provider of closing costs. So we are the fee experts. We only do closing costs. All of that really came out of that. And I remember at the time I was on a call where a large client was asking us all these very detailed questions. And I was like, we're experts in this. We know this stuff cold, right? So we really leaned into that. It was really helpful at the time because the industry was, rates were doubling really in about 6 months. So there was a lot of slowdown. We had to be very specific about what we did and allowed us to survive and still grow in that period. One of the things I find the most helpful about the vision is it tells you what not to do. Mm-hmm. I heard a quote this morning. I used to stand for nothing, so I fell for everything, which That's is Katy Perry, Roar. My daughter really likes Tiger-related songs, so that was on, and I got that quote.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. So, but it's true, right? So, like, if you don't have a vision or an area you're going, it's a lot easier to say yes to things that you shouldn't, fall for things in business that you shouldn't do. So that was us being very specific. But we found ourselves outgrowing that vision. We're not in survival mode anymore. Had a great year. We have a title company, which doesn't really fit into a vision of being the closing cost experts. And there's a lot of things we want to do and kind of our roadmap that aren't just closing costs related. Closing costs are the heart of what we do. We want to use it as a driver for other things. So that all led us to figure out a new vision, right? Yeah. Maybe before we talk about the vision itself, we can talk about maybe the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we went through
to
do that.
So I think one of the things that I've realized over my years in marketing is the less words you put in a sentence, the harder it is to write.
Yep.
It's just a fact because every single word that you have has to have intention behind it. Mm-hmm. And that's something that, we sat down, we had an idea from the directors, right? We had our director summit in December, sat down, had an idea where we wanted to go. And then we sat down actually with our marketing team and our wordsmiths to kind of hone in on what every individual word was. So what was kind of the intention that we came out of? I'm talking purely process, but vision wise, like what were we looking towards?
So LodeStar sits at a unique place in the transaction with the disclosure going out, the fee quoting going on the loan estimate. And what that basically tells people is how much you're going to pay when you buy a mortgage. You're able to shop for a mortgage. So we know when people are very likely to get a mortgage, right? And that puts us at a very important pivotal point in the transaction. I think 60 to 70% of loan estimates turn into actual files. Yep. So there's a high probability a lot of things happen. We sit at that point in a place where a lot of other folks don't. A title company doesn't know about an order till they get an order down the road. Same with appraisal, homeowners, all of those other processes. So by providing information upfront, by being a part of the early stage of the transaction, we're able to save time and money for folks down the road, right? In the same way that we disclose fees accurately, you mitigate cures and the time related to processing cures down the road. We're able to do that with our other services like title being involved, days ahead of any other title company. So we wanted something about we're involved early and the work we do ahead helps you save time and money.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's always kind of been a goal, right? Yeah. Is the saving time and money is something we've always tried to emphasize. Yeah. And I think sometimes it can be, the cures can almost be overlooked, right? Because they're like, oh, well, it's just a cost of doing business or anything like that. But oftentimes when we talk to lenders, I've talked to lenders that are spending thousands of dollars a day in cures, right? That's not a small amount of money, right? When you look at the end of the month. But it's definitely something that has been a core value for us for a while. And then adding the title agency in, as well as some future projects that we're looking towards. Yep. It's definitely important to pivot out of just being the fee experts for sure. Yep. So do you want to say your lovely sentence? Are you ready for it?
be too weird if we say it together, right?
Yeah, it'd be weird. Absolutely.
Our new vision is to drive down mortgage production costs with precise disclosures and reliable services. So we're going to break down every single word in that because everything was intentional, right? So drive down mortgage production costs, first part, right? Drive down, reduce. We're not going to eliminate the cost. We've had other words there. The drive down was actually the hardest word.
We had a brief argument about slash, and I just thought it was too violent.
We asked LinkedIn. It was the LinkedIn poll did not go slash's way. Drive down. So we are reducing the mortgage production cost. Mortgage production is very important too because our clients aren't home buyers, right? And we may serve a home buyer by being a title company, a borrower. However, mortgage production costs, we're here to help mortgage originators save time and money. And time is a real cost, right? So mortgage production costs is the time and money related to a transaction.
Absolutely.
So drive down mortgage production costs through precise disclosures. Those are fee disclosures. That's kind of our bread and butter. And reliable services. So reliable services, title, other data products, other services we add down the road on our roadmap. It's allowing us to be a little more flexible. The thing I like about that too is you look at the three kind of measurement words, right? So drive down, right? We can be very specific about how much money we save you. We have a savings calculator on our website already now for our core fee quoting product. Precise. We have a cure 1 out of every 6,000 or 16,500 quotes.
We did the math yesterday and it's in the 100,000th of a percentile. There are that many zeros in front of it if you count our inaccuracy. So it's a crazy load.
So we're measuring precision, we're measuring driving down, we're measuring reliability in terms of turn times, communication, system downtime, all of those things. So everything is measurable. And that's kind of a big part of the vision that we want to have is everything is, specific and something that we can stand behind.
Absolutely. And I think too, a huge part of, how we've become known over these last few years has been this kind of departure from more of a traditional textile with our support system, right? It's something when we talk to our customers, they love our support team, the work that they do. So I think having that reliable services also plays back to the tech side of things, right? We have, we disclose the fact that we disclose our pricing online. We look at all those things. So it really does impact a lot of decisions that you wouldn't think it might not, right? But I think it's a really good bar to hold ourselves to.
And when we decide on a new business, right? Do we want to open a real estate brokerage, right? Does that drive down mortgage production costs? No, not really. No, probably not something we want to do, right? So it then becomes kind of the litmus test of which we're able to measure new opportunities. So a lot of things do drive down mortgage production costs. So it expands, it from being closing cost experts, but it still gives us some good scope of what to say no to, which is really important.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's boring, but exciting at the same time, right? Like company visions aren't the most exciting thing in the world. I think they are to us because
we're in it.
I think we're in it and maybe we're a little nerdy about it. I think we both have read too many business books, Jim more so than me.
I'm on a break right now, but
yeah, I think it's really great. And it gives us a clear intention of where we're going. It tells our team where we're going. It also tells our clients where we're going, right? So if you're a client and watching this, you're going to get the same thing from LodeStar. Fee quotes are, the heart of what we do. We're not going anywhere in regards to that. But you might see an email from us about some title agent services and maybe some other things.
Yeah, exactly.
So awesome. Do you have anything else you want to share before we wrap up here today?
Excited to kind of keep this vision. I think one of the things that we're being very mindful of is the more you change this at the company, the less people listen to you. We had our old vision for 2.5 years. I hope to have this vision for longer than that, and the 5 to 10 year plan until we, outgrow that in some way, shape, or form. So we will see. Yeah.
And I think anyone who's been in the mortgage industry for the last 4 years can understand why after 2.5 years, we may have changed our vision. And also as where we were is in our growth period. We're still rapidly growing.
It served us very well. We will still call ourselves the fee expert.
100%.
Looking forward to kind of expanding on the vision from there.
Absolutely. You'll still see branding for fee experts everywhere. If you see us at a show, you'll have that and all of that fun stuff. So
Great.
perfect. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next week.